It's
Anyways,
okay, man. I'm waiting for you.
as I was saying, yeah, it makes me all nice and juicy inside.
You know, you got like the voice like some storyteller. But if you would like be older,
Wait, what's going on?
like you got the voice like a storyteller,
Oh, you're
but
talking.
yeah, but you need to be older than you are.
I need to be older
Yeah, to be a storyteller.
to be a storyteller.
Yes.
Well, to be honest with you, ever since I was a kid,
Hmm.
they said I was a genius. But for some reason, I just know things. Like even when I was a kid, they call it
Hmm.
wisdom beyond your years, but it's kind of weird. Like sometimes you just know. Sometimes you just know how to do things. Sometimes
You know Bloodhound Gang group.
I been a while since I heard that one.
You know there is some song. I'll find it now and send to you, and you'll listen to it. And like the guy who is singing, like tells the story, has the same voice like you.
Really, I hear
Yeah,
people say I've got a lot of voices of a different bunch of different people.
yeah. You
And
know.
I also like to do voices. I used to do that for a while. I want to try doing voice acting. I want to try doing
Hmm.
like a project and trying to like voice act it or something. I'm a little rusty on doing voicing and stuff, but I thought it'd be fun.
Yeah, it's like
People said
the
I sounded like that with a couple of YouTubers too.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You have like pretty, not like nice voice, but you're very nice to tell stories.
Oh
And
yeah.
maybe, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, I'll send you now a song within like 2 minutes. I need to find it, and you will listen to your voice. I just need to remember
Well,
this song.
I have different voices depending on how I'm feeling and stuff like that. Like my
Sorry?
voice right now is I'm kind of tired, but I kind of feel like shit. But I'm
Uh,
also kind of chill voice. I don't know how to describe it.
yeah. And what voice do I have? Because, like, I don't know how to say it, but for example, your voice, I can't hear it in Russia because, like, people tell other words. Yeah, you got me? Or not really?
I'm not entirely sure. Like you're saying, people that speak Russian don't have like accents.
No, 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 no. I mean, like, Russian people don't have voice like you because they speak different words and they speak Russian. Like,
Oh, that makes sense, I suppose, to some degree. But even then, they still have some variations, right? I mean, that's only
yeah,
natural.
no, just like
What?
it's like you born in another country and you have different voice, like because of the words and because of accent and because you live there.
Yeah, I understand that. See, in Japan, um, men and women have slight variations of language,
Hmm.
and some people that um, try to make fun of it are like, they'll be like, "Oh, Japanese girls don't sound like this in real life," and it's like, actually, yeah, they do. And there's several reasons for that. One of them being the culture.
Yeah,
But there
it's
are
like
there are variations though, because sometimes you get ones with a little deeper voice. One of the most common, popular ones among some people are the ones that are like say "oh my," yada 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 yada. But uh, or arda arda, you know. But anyways, so, but they do have various similarities because of the language and the culture attached to it, which is really complicated. But that's aside from the. So there are a lot of similarities, and they do make certain sounds that are different than other language equivalents.
Yeah, like,
So that kind of makes sense to me when I think about it like that.
mhm.
Because even though there is some slight variations, there's still a lot of similarities between some of them. Now, to be fair though, you know how in America the Northerners and Southerners kind of talk a little different in different parts of the country than the Westerners? Well, Japan has something kind of similar because they have different styles of the language, and you have the Southerner equivalent, and then you have the professional equivalent, stuff like that. So even they have mild dialects, which is interesting.
You know, and it's like affects the voice. Like, for example, the language affects the voice. Like, you talk like nobody would talk in Russian. Like, not words, but your voice, exactly voice. And for example, my voice, like, it's slightly low, not low, but high. It's like high, but I have never heard your voice in Russian. In Russian. Sorry, man, if you can't understand me, but I'm trying my best.
It's okay. It's more important that you just give it a shot instead of just not.
No, like, I am actually was studying in linguistic school. Not school, but university. But it was like 2 years ago when I really talked to someone in English, so I'm really trying, so, and I'm drunk right now, so I decided to talk to you.
Alright, I appreciate it. Well, if you're having a trouble saying something, don't be scared to say it. Just try, and then sometimes that'll help you figure it out.
No, you know, I know how to use grammatics and that stuff, but sometimes it's really hard to pronunciate.
Well, everyone can use language, but sometimes figuring out how to get the thoughts out is the hard part. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. It's like
everyone.
Sometimes, yes, sometimes it's hard to pronounce something. Like, to you, for example, to understand me.
Right.
Like you see that I can write pretty,
like squirrel,
pretty
for
good.
example.
Yeah. So I write pretty good, but I talk not really good.
Well, that's fine. That's not a big deal because those things can be worked with. Anything that might be a misunderstanding or whatever can always be worked through.
Like, any other Russian can understand me when I talk in English. But, for example, you sometimes can't understand me because, like, I have different accent.
Well, it doesn't affect me too much. But then again, I do have experience of talking to people from other countries. But, like, even though you have an accent, I can still make out the words. So, like, whenever you say accent, it sounds like, I don't know about other languages, but, like, if I ignore the fact that I know what the word is, it'll sound like you're saying accent. But in reality, you're saying accent. It sounds like accent to me because I'm understanding you phonetically.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it's not such a big deal. But I'm not going to pretend like I know everything.
That's
But
funny.
there's always going to be something. Even my friend Seth and I, we went to high school together. Even we misunderstand each other. We misunderstand words. So shit happens.
Yeah, like that's the best thing about languages when you don't understand the word but you can understand the phrase.
But yeah, language. I do find language more fascinating. I am curious about various cultures and stuff. That's part of how I got to know about Japanese. I was personally studying various cultures and learning about them. And then I came across Japanese. And this was before the first time I was maybe around the same time. And then I discovered anime, and that's really helped me. That's really inspired me and taught me some good lessons in
By the way, when you talk about being homeless, what do you mean?
life. When I was about 15 years old, my grandfather died, and my aunt took my grandmother and left me for dead, and I've been struggling with homelessness and my disability ever since. Because my grandparents were trying to get me covered to where I wouldn't have to worry about that. There's like a coverage in America called for disabilities.
Mm-hmm.
And when my grandfather died, I got a letter in the mail saying that I had to come to the hearing, which means I was done. I was ready after all those years. And I didn't get to go because he died and everything fell apart, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm finally getting that fixed. Hopefully, I should be getting paid by this or next week, and then I'll be able to actually try to live somewhere instead of always being homeless, losing my job and stuff. 'Cause people don't like putting up with you after a while.
By the way, how does it, like, when you finish the university, did you finish it?
When did I finish college?
Yeah, did you finish college?
I went to when I was about 24. I lived with the fiance I had, girlfriend, fiance,
Mm-hmm.
and her dad worked as a janitor, so we carpooled there to the college. And I scored so high that they paid me to go there. They begged me to take courses there because my scores were like perfect and then some. And so of course I did. I was taking. See, I'm already good with computers, so I decided I'll do computers. And I double majored in networking specialist and computer support specialist. And it was easy. I already knew the shit. I taught myself how to. So that wasn't even that big of a deal. But
So,
everything kind of fell apart though. My girlfriend was getting paranoid because she watched too many fraternity movies. You know, where they have like sex and shit in the movies. And she thought that was me, even though I was always home after, you know, and I'd carpool with her dad. So it's like, alright.
yeah, I understand.
So I wound up having a seizure. Some of the worst seizures I've had in years, where I was having one like every day because of this stress. I'd be at school and she'd be texting me and harassing me. I'd be at home, she'd be harassing me. And then I'd go to school and have a seizure and then wake up in the hospital. And I was actually ahead of the class. Because you can finish the class as fast as you want. And I sped ahead. And then I focused on trying to help out some other guys who were trying to learn some of the stuff, which my teacher was getting suspicious of. He's like, maybe we should focus on you. I'm like, no. Anyways, because I was having a seizure every day, I didn't get to finish the final test because I was having seizures, so I didn't get to show up for the final test. And he's like, well, you're going to have to either fail the class and take a huge penalty, or drop the class and hope that you write a nice letter to them and they forgive you. I'm like, okay. So that's what I did. So I technically didn't finish college, but I excelled at it.
Well, like you got
I did get certified though in a few things, but I didn't get all of my certifications. I'm Microsoft certified. The teacher there was fascinating. He was a cool guy. He's like, I'm like, I already know all this. He's like, what? Prove it. What does Control A do? What does Control B? And this was talking about Microsoft Office. And I told him what it does. And he's like, oh, what you do? He was a cool guy. I liked him. I wish I could have got more time to talk to him. He seemed like he had some good wisdom he might have been able to share with me. But yeah, I've seen and heard some interesting things over time. And part of the reason why I was able to keep going, part of the reason why I'm able to have such a good outlook on certain things and healthy is because of anime. I discovered anime, and there's a lot of great life lessons in there.
Like you mean like Korean and Japanese like cartoons, right? Anime.
You sounded muffled. Can you repeat that?
Okay, it's 2 6. Like you mean I like your anime, you mean? Like that.
I'm gonna try to turn you up. It's a little harder to hear certain things because I don't have a headset right now. So some quieter sounds. Right. So what about anime?
So you mean you got a lot of lessons from anime?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's some really good shit. Like they can touch on what you're going through, and then they really reach deep inside about some of those things, and then they offer like potential solutions. So it's like interesting. And like, no matter what you're going through, there's always something somebody's going through that can help. Like there's this one called Great Teacher. And somebody said that inspired him to not let people affect him so much, and encourage them. One of the lessons I picked up was instead of worrying about the what ifs, could haves, and should haves, focus on what you can do. Because if all you do is worry, you're just gonna stress yourself out, and you can wind up in the hospital or something, and that's just gonna cause more trouble for everybody. Especially yourself.
By the way, what anime did you watch?
Like,
what series? Yeah, but what are the best ones? Did you watch One Punch Man and... Okay, did you watch One Punch Man? Yeah.
That
you know, I have seen only like 2 or 3 animes. I don't know how to... I don't know them in English. I know only One Punch Man because in Russian it also has the name One Punch Man, the title.
There are some animes where they have people from Russia in there that speak Russian, but they're not like it's just a couple of characters or here or whatever. Right. So Gurren Lagann. Pretty good.
Can you write it?
Yeah. Let me get my phone. I can't really use my keyboard for anything right I don't have a desk or a chair.
And did you watch Koksuma? Soma. Koksuma. Блять.
Konosuma?
No. Блять. Sex. Like, it's Cook Soma.
Konosuma.
Yeah. It's the series, like, it's anime when the guy cooks everything. And he's in, like, high
Cook-sama.
school. Yeah.
Yeah, see, we're getting into Japanese, so that's going to be harder for us to mediate with a little bit.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying. At first, I thought I misunderstood you. That's why I was like, Konosuma? Because I thought I'm like, did he say Kokusuma? I thought that is kind of what you said, but that's aside from the point.
Okay. So really, two anime what I watched is One Punch Man and Cox Soma. And that's it. But they're really great.
I need to put a
I see.
disclaimer on one of those that I just typed to you, okay?
Okay.
There's huge ass titties. No, I'm just kidding. So, in the Dragon Ball Z one that I mentioned, that is one of my favorites as well. But there's a specific version that's best that you can't really get anymore, not so easily. Because what happened is a few years ago, the guy that did the soundtrack, I forgot what happened, but they started to dispute the guy that did the soundtrack, called Bruce Falcon. And in retaliation or spite, they just removed all of his music from the show. And they replaced it with really boring audio. So if you're gonna look up Dragon Ball Z, it's best to look up the remastered edition that came out a few years back. Because that one has the Bruce Falcon or something.
So you mean I need to watch the mastered one? Or
Well, for Dragon Ball Z.
yeah.
And that's because that's probably the best version because it has Bruce Falcon soundtrack in it, which is the biggest part of it. It's not the same without it.
Also, you know, when I was at my girlfriend's and she was sleeping, I was also always watching One Piece.
Sorry. I'll try to fix it. Because I'm popping up on your end and you're coming through at mine.
Yeah,
Be sick.
I can hear it as well. So, did you watch One Piece?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
I advise you to check it.
I've heard someone talk about the manga and it seems pretty good.
You know, there is like thousands of series of One Piece, but also some films about it, like full films, and they're pretty like cool. There are a lot of cool characters. In One Piece.
Yeah. I've watched someone on YouTube talking about some of the different stuff that happened in the manga, and it seems pretty good. It seems pretty powerful. There's some interesting messages that are pretty good. Seems like, but I haven't seen it.
You know, it's just cool without any like meaning, like the characters. That's cool. Like, on YouTube there is some music videos when they put on the background some animes.
There are some. When it comes to Dragon Ball Z Remastered, by the way, it's a little hard to find some sites that are hosting that version, but they still do. I have it on my hard drive because I finally found it again. I ripped it to my hard drive because I don't want to lose it again. I spent years trying to find that version again. At least like that. Anyways, go on. You said there's music videos?
Yeah, like on YouTube, there is a lot of music videos when they put on the background like some stuff from One Piece. And from this, I know about it, like about One Piece. And then I started to watch it. You got my message? Yeah. So it's really like it's funny and in the same way it's like serious.
Yeah.
But
I know you're talking about people take like a song they like and then they try to tie it to a character or event.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. People do that Dragon Ball Z and other shows too. In fact, Dragon Ball Z videos like that are some of the oldest videos on YouTube.
Yeah, it was released in like 90s, right?
Some of the oldest ones.
Yeah.
Linkin Park.
Okay, mate. So
YouTube came around like 2000 or something like that. Maybe like 2005 or something.
Okay, mate. So I need to go now, but I'll connect to you a bit later. Okay?
Yeah, I think this is partially nicer. It mainly sense, but I run.
Okay, so good luck to you. I'll be back a bit later. Or maybe tomorrow.
Well, anytime you want.
Okay, so bye.
Wait.
Okay.
The next time you go to join, you can sign yourself using names, so you'll have a username.
Yeah, I see that I have TeamSpeak user instead of my nickname.
Yes, if you want to do that,
Okay.
but you don't have to make an account. That's completely optional.
I thought that I need to make an account and I did. So anyway.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. But for some reason it doesn't show my nickname.
Well, when you go to connect.
Okay. Okay, so bye. It was nice to talk to you.
Yeah, you too.